watching SportsBeat.
Hit. There's the second. Off and running. Oh, he is nailed and the ball's out.
All right, it is college football game week. It all begins Thursday night in Rice-Eccles, Utes, and Weber State. Now, the last time these two played a few years ago, Utah won 70-7. But don't expect that to happen Thursday night.
No, Weber State's a much different program now, ranked 8th in FCS. One of those FCS programs that could stun a Power 5 team. Well, if you think the Utes are sleeping on the Wildcats, you'd be mistaken.
We're ready for it, and that's like they're probably ready for this challenge. But no, we're going to go in there, lace up against them, and get it on.
It's going to be fun to actually go out there and have to finish on guys. We don't get a lot of finish here in practice, so it's going to be a lot of fun to do that.
Zach Moss finds his way into the red paint. Touchdown.
You know we're capable of, you know what they're capable of, we know we got to go out there and do. And, you know, you don't overlook them, but, like, like I said, you know what your team is capable of, what you guys should go out there and do. And we're very excited to go ahead and strap it up against Weber State.
We really believe this year. I mean, we did my freshman. We had a good team my freshman year, a really good team.
Number 26, Wilson up top, wide open, Covey, touchdown, Utah.
And I see the same level of talent in this group, but even more belief, if that makes sense. Just like we can do it. We're not entitled to anything, you know. Like, if anyone ever thought we would be overlooking Weber, it's the complete opposite. This team is very locked in.
As you prep for Weber State, do you feel the need to bring up to your players that an FCS team seems to beat a Power 5 team every year?
Yes, sir, every year, and that's and somebody will get it done this year. You know, some FCS will beat an FBS. You can just about guarantee it. And yeah, we're not. This is not a group that's going to overlook anybody or lose focus. I spent some time with Jay in the offseason, though. We golfed together a few times. I think the world of him. He's a phenomenal coach. But once the ball's in the air on the kickoff, it doesn't matter who's on the other side.
How impressed are you with the job he's done there, turning that program around? That program struggled for years.
Very impressed, but not surprised one bit.
All right, now for this game Thursday night from the Utes, I'm looking for consistency, sustaining drives without penalties. That will put an end to something they have going that's very well.
You know,
that's
for me,
what I'm looking for.
The offense, I want to see explosive plays in the pass game. Now, no disrespect to Weber State. They're a terrific football team. They're going to have a great defense in FCS. But if you can't throw the ball for big gains against Weber State, how are you going to do it against Washington and USC and Stanford? Yeah. I want to see that.
That, consistency and big plays. If they can do that, then they should take care of business because they have more talent than Weber. But Weber's got some guys that could play for the Utes.
You saw what happened to Cal last year. Yeah. They were one play away from winning that game on the road.
Yep, they have.
Can't sleep on them.
All right, for the Wildcats, they know that this will be their biggest challenge ever, probably. But they went into Cal last season, as you mentioned, nearly beat the Bears, should have beat them. So even against the odds, they are confident that they can give the Utes a challenge on Thursday.
I feel like we are the team to watch. You know, going into this first game, you know, we do play Utah, but they also have to play us. You know, like I said, being an FCS school and being the Big Sky, you know, we're looked down upon. There's a lot of schools in the FCS that upset FBS teams all the time. So why not us?
Weber State head coach Jay Hill now joins us in studio. Well, game week is here, Coach.
I know. Can't wait. Thursday, big day.
What's the couple of things that you need to get accomplished before you kick it off on Thursday against Kyle Whittingham?
Oh, just a little bit more preparation for what we saw on the University of Utah from last year, their offense, defense. A little bit more just clean up as far as our own execution goes, and, you know, can't wait for Thursday.
What's it like going up against a man that coached you, a guy that's a mentor? What is it like as a coach going up and having a matchup like that?
Well, this is fun. You know, I got to do it 2 years ago against Gary Anderson when he was at Oregon State, and it's fun pre-game because you get to go out and shake their hand and talk a little bit and just wish each other good luck. And then when the ball's kicked off, all that stuff goes out the window and it's football. But I look forward to it.
Now, last year you went to Cal. Of course, Cal not close to being as good as Utah. But Kyle Whittingham's been saying all week, we're not overlooking these guys. You almost beat Cal. You should have beat Cal last year. So does that give you any advantage or any help going into this year saying, all right, we can hang?
I don't think so. And Cal's well coached, and they weren't overlooking us either. And you know Coach Witt is not going to allow his team to overlook anybody. I don't care what jersey comes out of the tunnel. He ain't going to let his team overlook anybody. So I don't think that really happens that much in college football. Now, the players, I don't know, but I guarantee this has been ingrained in their players. Don't overlook these guys, because you got to treat every game the same.
And what's your message been to your guys?
Just that. You know, we got to come out of the tunnel. It doesn't matter what jersey comes out of the other tunnel. We got to play as hard as we can. We got to go out there and execute, abide by our plan to win. You know, I don't care who you're playing. If you go out there and turn the ball over 4 or 5 times, it's going to be ugly. And I know that. We can't do that against these guys on Thursday. We got to go out there and execute a clean game plan and do our darndest not to turn it over and fight like crazy to the bitter end and see what happens.
You bring back so much experience, with the exception of quarterback. Yeah. And everyone's wondering, who's going to be the quarterback at Weber State? You haven't named a starter yet. What's the latest?
No, it's been a huge battle all through camp, and I've seen 3 guys really emerge as the ones that can lead us to victory. That's Rathan Reisdorf, Caden Jenks, and Jake Constantine. All 3 of those guys we can win with. I know that. It'll be fun to watch them develop throughout the rest of this week and see what happens on game day. But we've got a good supporting cast around them, so I can't wait to see how those guys play.
So if you did go with a freshman, you're throwing a freshman into a game against a Pac-12 opponent. How do you prepare a young quarterback like that for what he would see if he's the guy?
Well, Caden Jenks, the quarterback you're talking about, is a freshman right now. He won 27 straight games in high school. And if you can get him to just go back to those roots and just say, you know what, you've done this before. You've played well in these big games before. You've won 2 state championships. You've played in these games. Now go treat this opponent just like anybody else. And, you know, we're going to have to do a good job of not letting the crowd get crazy and get in the game and keep Sac Lake City, you know, down low. And hopefully they don't go crazy with their D-line and stuff like that. But I know one thing. I love our offensive line. I love our running game right now. And if we can just go in there and just make some plays early and get some confidence rolling, you never know.
Even though you lost a couple playmakers, Stephen Cantwell, the quarterback, Vollert, the tight end, you still have some guys that can make plays that are very quick and can do it.
Absolutely. We've got 5 All-Americans returning on this team. We lost some key pieces. I mean, you mentioned Taron Johnson, who's now playing for the Buffalo Bills, Vollert, who's playing for the Cardinals right now. McKay Murphy's still playing great with the Rams. So we lost some really key difference makers for our team. But that happens every year on every college football team. It'll be fun now to see who steps up and takes on that role for this year.
You mentioned those players that are now in the NFL. That's something fairly new for Weber State. This is exciting for you guys. Number 8 in the country. All this momentum you have, all that success, are you seeing a difference when you go out recruiting and you're telling players about what Weber State is and trying to tell your story?
Oh, yeah. I think this is the best recruiting class that we've had since I've been at Weber State for sure, maybe ever. The freshmen are just absolutely outstanding, and you never want to comment too early about a freshman class, but these guys look outstanding, and our sophomore class, quite frankly, is the same way. You know, going into this Utah game, we've got 4 starting linemen that are all sophomores, and our tight end is a freshman, and our quarterback could be a freshman, and 2 of our top wide receivers are freshmen or sophomore. We're young, but they're talented, and the future of the program is very, very bright.
4 days.
I know. Can you believe that?
Let's do it. Big smiles right now. Hey, we'll see you Thursday in Rice Eccles, Coach.
Can't wait.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Looks and throws there. Catch made by Pau. Pau makes a man miss. Stays on his feet into the end zone.
All right, Cougars have their starting quarterback for the opener at Arizona. Are they ready? Kalani will tell us when we come back.
This is the third time he's had this shot.
Utah's Tony Finau picked up his largest check of his career today and now is in the running for $10 million.
You're watching SportsBeat. The Murdoch Automotive No Regrets play of the game.
In the air to right field. Man, oh man, is he hot. That ball is crushed.
Now, former Salt Lake Bee Kendrys Morales is on fire. The Toronto Blue Jays first baseman homered for the 7th consecutive game on Sunday. He set a franchise record and is the 7th player in Major League history to do so. Ken Griffey Jr., Dale Long, and Don Mattingly share the MLB record of 8 straight games, which is now in Kendra's sights.
All right, the first 4 events of the FedEx Cup playoffs on the PGA Tour, the Northern Trust Open in New Jersey this week. The top 125 players in the FedEx standings are playing, and the one who finishes with the most points after those 4 playoff tournaments will win $10 million.
And Utah's Tony Finau is in the running. Started the week 12th in the standings and had a chance to move up the list today as he started 5 shots back of the leader, Bryson DeChambeau.
I told you he's my best friend, right?
He is now.
Yeah. All right, before the leaders could tee off, though, Tiger Woods out early, and he had his swing dialed in like this approach on 18. But unlike his swing, his putting was not dialed. Of the 80 who made the cut, Tiger was 79th in putting. That doesn't add up very well.
Not good.
But he finishes inside the top 100 and moves on to the second playoff event next week in Boston. All right, now to Tony here on the par 3 ninth. This for birdie. Rams it in on the chip. Now he's only 4 shots back of DeChambeau. Here he comes. Next hole after DeChambeau bogeys. Tony for par to remain 3 back.
Perfect 5 for 5.
No, he misses a great opportunity there. But on the next hole, the 12th, short birdie putt again. And that slides past. So a couple of great chances gone by for Tony. All right, DeChambeau on 12. This for birdie. Does not miss that one. So he's back to a 5-shot lead over Finau. All right, but Tony would keep coming, guys. Eagle putt on the par 5, 13th. This would get him back to within 3. Can't get it to drop. Taps in for birdie. He's 4 shots back. Next hole, Tony's got another short putt for birdie. Oh, that goes in. So now he's only 3 back with 4 to play. But 10 seconds later, and I mean just 10 seconds later, DeChambeau for birdie. So he moves to 18 under. Tony was 14 under. That's the way this thing would end, as Tony Finau finishing off with a par on 18. He finishes second in the tournament and moves all the way up to 4th in the FedEx standings. And that gives himself a legitimate shot at the $10 million check with 3 playoffs left. And he also earned his biggest paycheck of his career today, $970,000 smackers. All right, now let's go back to college football. Cougars open up at Arizona on Saturday, and the question has been asked all spring and fall camp. Well, it was answered on Friday.
Yeah, it was. Tanner Mangum has won the battle and will be the starting quarterback against the Arizona Wildcats.
Now, of course, we were told all through spring and fall camp that it was a battle between Mangum and freshman Zach Wilson. Well, Thursday, the Cougars held their final scrimmage before the opener, and apparently Mangum must have sealed the deal there. Besides the quarterback situation, they called this a cleanup scrimmage. So, did they accomplish what they set out to do?
Good ending to camp. Yeah, I was really pleased with the work. I mean, the concern is, we pulled back on the live stuff, but because I think we saw enough of it, but it was competitive, and we had to put ourselves in a lot different situations that we haven't seen or haven't had enough work at in camp, and so it was good. I think it was a good run for our team.
In a matter of days, you're playing another opponent, and the season is starting. There's no way that you can fool around in practice, because it'll translate directly to the game.
It's coming up pretty soon, from the start of fall camp to now. So everybody's kind of locked in, knowing that they're going to be separating the teams and scout teams and things like that. So it's kind of a good feel, that it's getting up close.
I think the guys are really excited. That just tells them that the season is right around the corner, and our guys are just excited to go out there and play a great game against somebody else, So I'm really excited to see our guys play. I've been really pleased with what they've done and how their coaches have worked with them.
We're just continuing to compete. I mean, Monday we did well, Tuesday did well, so it's good to see that both sides are doing well, and we're continuing to get each other better and ready for Arizona.
We try to do as much live work to get those guys ready, and but we'll still need these last few practices to get more of our depth ready to play.
Everyone's going to make a play in the season. Just we need to make sure that we're not all playing for ourselves, because, I mean, you can't do that and then try and be successful.
All right, Jeremiah, what are we looking for out of the Cougars in the opener? Well, for me, just to execute, just to get things done and finish off drives and continue drives, unlike they did last year.
And drives past the 50-yard line.
Absolutely. Right. Get across the 50-yard line, but just execute, whether they score or not, whether they win or lose or not, just get some drives going offensively, execute, start feeling good about yourself, and that will get this pretty good defense some rest, which they were dog-tired last year making up for the offensive deficiencies.
I'm kind of on the same track as you, but I think more specifically BYU needs playmakers to execute, especially on offense. They didn't have any offensive playmakers last season, maybe Matt Bushman, but if they're going to compete against the teams on the schedule, they've got to find those guys. I mean, you know, who's it at running back? Who's at wide receiver? Who's going to make that big play on third down that they need to make? They got to do that. Also, I think the difference in the quarterback competition, it was a tough decision, but I think the mustache put Tanner Mangum over the top.
Oh, I agree. No question about it. You know, Zach's got to learn how to grow some hair.
It's going to take him a while.
There you go. So you talked about playmakers. A 5-yard out pass to complete. That would be an improvement from last year. I'm sorry.
That would be a start.
But if they can, they complete the easy ones.
It sounds silly, but they've got to make those little plays, and they can't have the kind of mistakes they had last season. It's really simple.
Let's head to Logan.
All right, let's do it. Utah State opens their season Friday at Michigan State. This is the second year in a row the Aggies have opened their season on the road against a Big Ten opponent. Coach Wells lets us know what the Aggies are working on the final week leading up to that big opener.
You're still got a few position battles that we got to solidify and then make the decision and roll with it. And then, more than anything, it's honing in exactly on Michigan State stuff on offense and defense and special teams. My expectation is that we compete at the highest level, that the opportunity to play these games early in the season, we leave it all on the table.
Okay, so what am I looking for the Aggies and the opener? Michigan State ranked 11th in the country. Jordan Love, the quarterback, how does he respond in a game like this? Because he's really never been the man in this type of a setting. If he does well, win or lose, that could give him a lot of confidence for a foundation to have just a breakout and an incredible season. But if he can be successful and realize what he can do and that he can do it against the best, I think that'll go a long way for a successful season.
Agree on that. Performing well against the Big Ten offense, you're not going to see a defense like that for the rest of the season. Maybe Wyoming, who we saw last night, has a pretty good defense. But for me, and Coach Wells is preaching this all throughout the offseason, and he compared this team to 2013 if they're able to finish games. They did not finish games last year. Remember Air Force? There were several others
better last year than they did the year before.
Yes, but they still left some wins out there last year. Games they should have won. They could have been 8 or 9 wins, and that's what he's talked about. Is they end up 6 and 7. You have a different discussion about their season last year if they simply finish games.
Because you have them winning how many games?
I got them going 9 and 3.
And to do that, they've got to do exactly what you just said. Hey, let's clip it, man.
Let's do it.
Great clips of the week.
All right, consolation game of the Little League World Series. Georgia's Caden Olvey, the great snag at third, and from his caboose, flings it over to first. Originally, the runner was called safe. They had to review it, and they overturned it, and the runner was out. But what a great grab from the caboose, throw, out.
Unbelievable. I haven't even seen a Major League player do that.
Not from the caboose.
You're right, he's out.
All right.
All right, you expect to work out the kinks in preseason, but maybe not this. After making the tackle, the Dolphins' Kiko Alonso headed to the sideline, but it was the wrong sideline. He went to the Ravens sideline. Baltimore head coach John Harbaugh. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you play for the other team, so, I guess with a haircut like that, that's kind of what you'd expect. But, yeah, poor Kiko Alonso. He'll never live that down.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh having a good laugh out of it, as we all are.
Wrong way, Kiko.
Oops.
High school football coming up next. Our game of the week, and also the power matchup of the year. Didn't have much power.
A SportsBeat presentation. Game Night Live kicks off now. Brought to you by Granite Credit Union.
All right, week 2 of the high school football season in the books, and it all started with the power matchup of the season.
Yeah, number 1 Bingham versus number 2 East, a rematch of last year's 6A state championship. Would the game live up to the hype? The answer is no, and Bingham is still the bully in the state of Utah.
Bully.
Man, they were dominant in this game. This is the play of the game. Bingham gets the momentum early. The punt returner is Jared Greenfield. He takes the punt on the bounce, changes direction, finds the sideline, has some help from his friends, and has a 62-yard returner for a 7-0 lead. After an East turnover, Bingham adds another score. Peyton Jones to Avi Parikh. 14-0 Bingham after one. They add to the lead in the second quarter. Jones to Andrew Wimmer, filling in for the injured Braden Whistler. It's a 22-yard touchdown. The Miners up 21-0 at the half. Bingham kept the momentum going in the second. Wimmer with an 8-yard touchdown run. And that Miner defense continues to dominate, holding East to just 8 points that they got in the final seconds of the game.
All right, another major matchup featuring neighboring schools in North Utah County.
Yeah, Lone Peak coming off an impressive win over Harriman, while Skyridge looking to bounce back after a disappointing head-scratching loss to Riverton.
Yeah, how would they do that? And Skyridge would get on the board first, and it's Ma'am Natoa in for the touchdown. Lone Peak now marching, but Bladen Tongiai comes up with the sack. Second quarter, Skyridge, Jaden Clemens, zipper to Dylan Samuels, 11 yards out. Falcons out to a 14-0 lead, but a few minutes later, Braden Seary takes a shot to the end zone. Sean Wood, how about that one-handed grab?
Wow.
All right, check that out. Defender draped all over him, said, look what I got in the left arm. Final minute of the first half, Lone Peak's Michael Daly commits to BYU, then he commits the block punt, then he tracks it down, touchdown. We're tied at the half. Third quarter, Seary to Mason Wake. There's one stiff arm. Wait for it, JJ. There's another one.
Oh, no.
42 yards. Lone Peak has its first lead, but Skyridge would come back in the fourth. Natoa punching it across. That's ups the Skyridge lead to 24-21, and that is how it would end. Both teams now 1-1. Okay, our Game Night Live crew was at Farmington Friday night for our game of the week.
Yeah, the newest school in the state playing their first ever home game, the Phoenix hosting Northridge.
And you got to watch it live on our KSL TV app.
History-making night here at Farmington High School, the first ever home game for the newest school in the state. Kobe Browning out of the pistol. He wants to go to the end zone. Now he does. One-on-one coverage. And contact, caught, touchdown. Yes, yeah, it is. Otto Tia. After one quarter of play, it is Northridge 7 and Farmington nothing. Here we go. Fourth down and goal for the Knights at the 7-yard line. Kobe Browning to the end zone. Touchdown. Guess who? Carson Stokes. Farmington trying to get something going here before the end of the half. First and 10 at the 43-yard line. Everson's got a man across the middle inside the 40. Jeanette's Jude Cantrell again. 1:31 left. Ryan Marks, 44-yard attempt. It's blocked, and this thing is going to go back for a touchdown for Northridge. What a play by the Knights. Otto Tia. Did you even know that you had it in your hands when you blocked it?
No, so like it hit me, and then it hit me, and I just felt something in my hand, and I was just like, oh, it's the ball.
To the end of the first half in this historical night for the Farmington Phoenix, but Farmington trailing Northridge 22-0. Second down and 11 from the 18. It's caught. Touchdown, 17 yards. Northridge. Dakari Armandaris. First and goal at the 5. Around the right side goes Briggs Malin. He's in for the touchdown. Northridge in the end zone again. Briggs Malin. 37-yard field goal attempt on the final play of the game. It is long enough, but it is wide left. And that's how the first ever home game here for the Farmington Phoenix ends. 36-0. Northridge comes in here and gets the win.
It was me. I didn't have them prepared for it. It's one of those learning things that, I wish I had every answer, but, I just didn't. And, love those guys on that side, and that's the thing I love about Braden is he is a mind. And he had a great plan, and he knew me a whole lot better than I knew myself tonight.
We were out for blood tonight. We've been scrimmaging these guys all summer long, and it just all fell into place.
So you know him very well.
Very. Coach is my man, but nothing but respect to that team.
Oh, it feels fantastic. You come out here, you play good game defensively. Offense showed up, put points on the board. You can't ask for a much better game than this.
All right, this Friday night, our Game Night Live crew will head to Cottonwood. The Colts hosting Kearns. You can watch the game live on our KSL TV app. And Jeremiah, of course, if you don't have the app, very simple. Download it. It's free.
It's free. It's free. We're giving it away.
Yep. All right, a touching tribute between rivals Friday night in Brigham City. Box Elder and Bear River. Judd Miller, a former Bear River player, drowned while swimming in Hiram Reservoir back in May.
Yeah, Judd's parents, Kirk and Marie, were in attendance, and the Box Elder football team presented them with a gift before kickoff.
On behalf of the Box Elder Bees, we would like to take time to recognize an extraordinary young man that Kirk and Marie Miller raised. Judd Miller, number 4, was full of life, a contagious laugh, and a smile that went on for days. He didn't care what side of the field you were on, he considered you a friend. Judd left an impact on all the lives he came across and will never be forgotten. Kirk and Marie, we wanted to show our support for you and your family. We may be rivals on the field, but we are always friends off the field.
You know, how impressive and classy of a move is that from the Box Elder Bees? Of course, Jeremiah, rivalries are fun and all that, but life and being a human is much more important than a game, and the Bees showed us something very, very special against the rivals on Friday night.
I'll never forget that. What a great moment. All right, now to the game. The 98th Golden Spike game. First quarter, Trent Dixon for Box Elder cuts his way through traffic and scores on a 22-yard rush, and the Bees have a 7-0 lead. Into the second, Box Elder now up 16-0 in Bear River. Brady Brown finds Braxton Jepson wearing number 4, which was Judd Miller's number. Significant there. 16-7 the score. Third quarter, Park Buchanan delivers a strike to Connor Stevenson in the end zone, 22-7. Final minute of the game, Bear River trying to make something happen, but Skylar Laurenti picks it off, and he's going to take it all the way to the house. Box Elder takes back the Golden Spike with a 29-7 victory.
All right, when we come back, your votes are in. Your choice for the best play. Week 2 of the high school football season. Is it this play? Could be. All right, each week on our Game Night Live show, Saturday at 6 o'clock, we show you some of the top plays from the week of high school football, and then you can vote on which one you think is the best.
Yeah, a handful of phenomenal plays, but it was the special teams that got your votes this week.
So here it is. The winner for week 2, final minutes of the half between Farmington and Northridge. Otto Tia blocks the kick, takes it right off the kicker's foot, right in the gut, and then he goes 65 yards for the touchdown. That is the kick 6, as we're calling it, by Otto Tia. You heard him just a few minutes ago.
I like it. The kick 6. Yeah, you can vote on the KSL Sports Twitter page every Saturday night after Game Night Live, and we'll see who wins every Sunday.
Okay, we'll do it again next week.
All right.
Also, every Saturday at 6 o'clock, we load up the projector.
Yeah, this week we'll end the show with the best images of week 2 of the Utah high school football season. The latest highlight reel from Game Night Live. It's ready, and it's delicious. Good night.